Can we start the session? I think we can start the session, no? Hello? Anyone from admin?
Yes, I think.
I think we can start now. Better because already
Yes, sir.
10 minutes already passed. So I'm starting with a uh, thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you, all the participants. I think, can you just check it out and tell me that whether my slides are visible to all of you or not? Is it
Yes,
visible?
yes, it is.
Good morning to all of you. I'm very much thankful to RFI for giving me this opportunity on the topic on project writing for grants. So I need your valuable input in this context because if you're working on a project, definitely it is an immense pleasure for me. Just like you, I'm also have done a one empirical research project on ICSSR. Okay, and for a amount of grant that we received of amounted to rupees 14 lakh. So I just try to share the way we have done and the procedure that you have to follow, and what are the technicalities that we have when we're going for such kind of project. Okay, that is a small thing that I can share with all of you. Hope it will be very much useful for all of us. Now, see, uh, when you're asking for a particularly in the context of social science and humanities, you are thinking about that what type of research grant you will get. The suggestion is that initially, if we join, then we can start with our minor project. We have a major project from, and the funding is being provided from the ICSSR from time to time. Okay. Beside these two major projects, there is a minor and major, which is very common to among the all the faculty members. But in case of minor project, the amount may be a small amount, while in case of major, the amount very depends on the nature of the work assigned by the ICSSR. Other than that, another important dimension was that impress. That is called impactful policy research in social science, because of the objective is to promote policy research in social science. But in case of others, just like science, they have their programs like DBT, okay, from the Department of Biotechnology and so many other dimensions, where from they can apply. I try to focus and limited my present discussion in the context of ICSSR, so that how and what we can do. Now, I will try to show you one interesting, another particular, just a minute, I can try to share with, I try to show you another important thing, like a particular website. Uh, just a minute, showing you. Yeah, this one. I think all of you, can you see it right now? I have opened the window of this ICSSR. Okay, and now you can see for this ICSSR, right now, if you can focus on this sheet, these are the two new important dimensions coming. Call for a collaborative research proposal for longitudinal study in science, social and human science. Okay, so click on it, automatically you will see the point, the red line. The last date for submission online form is August 12th. You have to download the proposal form. You have to download the format, who become the project coordinator, okay, and who become the associate directors, and the format of the forwarding letter, along with the required document that you have to see. So you have a time, you can apply for this particular project or research proposal in the context of the social and human science. There is another project is going parallelly, the collaborative research. The one important research proposal on Jal Jeevan Mission (JJM). I think still the date may be there. Okay, so you can check the date on the website. See the theme. You can check the theme like how the community engagement, social economic impact, Jal Jeevan program is being that is called on this particular issue is going on. Earlier, one particular project is already being done. The last stage is already being over. Deadline is over or vision for a Viksit Bharat. So again, I'm coming to our own original PowerPoint, okay, where we try to show you the main point, and we are going back to the original PowerPoint right now. What I mean to say here that you have an grow, opportunity to grow for in the context of various social science project that you have. So you can apply for this upcoming research proposal within August 12th. Now, point arises, so we have to go to this particular website and apply for this particular dimension. What we have done, if you also you can check this particular site under ICSI impactful policy research initiatives. So there are seven processes we work together. Impress have a different types of topic is being covered. It may be related to state democracy, urban transformation, governance, public policy, science and education, agriculture and rural development, and so on. What we have done in this short-term empirical research project, we have applied for Assam implemented in 4 different states. So there are seven professors we work together, three from one particular state and others are from the different state. And then we collaborate. So since it was a collaborative research project, short-term empirical collaborative research project. So we have collaborated and then automatically we try to comply with it. The most interesting part is that based on the performance of your progress, you will get the fund. Once the proposal has been accepted on the part of ICSSR policy implementation body. The most important thing is that there are so many dimensions is that. So many dimensions means how I can apply. Okay, I have shown you the particular area right now, the Jal Jeevan and this particular social science and humanities in the work is going on. So you can check it out on a continuous basis. You can see the update that is being available in the ICSSR portal. Other than the minor and major project, the minor and major projects are very common. If you're interested for a particular minor project, suppose you are a young faculty member who are interested to go for a minor project, or you are a senior faculty member, you are interested to go for a major research project. At that time, the most important thing is that you can go to the website, download the form of minor project and major project, fill the form, do all the processing, and send it and submit to the ICSR, both online and hard copy. Then you have to submit offline. So that is very important thing that you have to do. In case of social science, researchers can apply. So after you have to fill it up the online form, and within the 10 days from the application of the online form submission, you have to submit the hard copy to the respective ICSSR. So at that point of time, you can see ICSSR in this context or not. Otherwise, nowadays, every time ICSSR is coming up with some different types of theme-centric proposal, like Jal Jeevan Vikas or Viksit Bharat or something like that. If you are interested on this theme-based action research project or something like that, you can apply for it. That should be a very useful for it and enhance your credibility. Okay. Now, why and how we can do, because ICSSR, okay, now they are trying to encourage faculty members to go for a collaborative study. Not only the collaborative, so automatically they want that one member from one institution, another member from another institution must collaborate with each other and come up with a comprehensive assessment in the context of a particular area. Okay, in the context of a particular area. So that is the main thing that they are trying, so that an overall impact analysis can be done. This is very important and understanding the entire gamut of picture for us. Okay, so just a minute. One, Acha, yes, you have a question. Hello, do you have any question? Okay, can I continue? Hello, am I audible to all of you? Brojo sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, can I continue?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Now the type of study you can take, the type of study may be of two types. One is called individual study and one is called a collaborative study. And as I have pointed out here, in case of individual study, the maximum duration of your project must be of 6 months. Okay. And where there is a maximum ceiling, the fund can be sanctioned for a particular individual project submitted by an individual professor, maybe of 6 lakh. So it is a maximum ceiling of 6 lakh. Okay, it can vary, depends on the evaluation of your project and the amount to be sanctioned by the authority. Now, for a particular project you have taken, which is an individual project and the maximum ceiling is within 6 lakh, they preferred a particular study that you can undertake, which has maximum sample size range between 400 to 500. Okay, so that is a very important thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, that whenever you are undertaking any kind of individual project, automatically the sample size must be a range of between 400 to 500 that they have specified. Now, for a collaborative project, for example, like what we have done, we have a minimum number of 6 researchers are examined. So automatically we have a good number of researchers representing different states because we have undertaken an empirical study based on a work covering the 4 states. So automatically we have at least one representative from each state. Okay, since it is a collaborative research project, one person must act as a main project coordinator. Okay, and support, and another one, and rest of them can act as a project director. Okay, the main project coordinator, he or she must have the entire responsibility because that institution must link with the ICSSR for all type of fund receiving or fund using of fund and all types of audit treatment. Okay, the project directors are responsible mainly for coordinating and supporting the project coordinator for the compliance and the successful completion of the project. Okay. So the thing is that suppose if you assume that you wants to become a project coordinator, then automatically you have to maintain a linkage with the ICSSR for receiving the grant and everything. Okay. And because your institution must have a PFMS account, that PFMS account must be linked with the ICSSR for getting the fund directly from the ICSSR from this PFMS app. Now, for this, what happened? The most interesting part, in case of collaborative project, not only the collaboration is important, but beside collaboration, another important thing is that the amount of sample size must be of huge. For our project, what we have done, we have taken a sample size of 2000, exactly 2000, 2000 plus something. Okay, so it must range between 2000 to 3000, where the maximum ceiling has been given by ICS's 30 lakh. For example, for the purpose of our study, short-term empirical research study, funds amounted to rupees 14 lakh. So, one, if you are not so confident that you can go for a collaborative or you are unable to select a very good collaborative team members, my suggestion is that better you can go for individual study. Okay, and you can go for initially with a minor and major, and then And if you're a senior professor and on long experience that you have, definitely you can go for a collaborative study because of your having a good number of networking managed system. Now, who are become the eligible? Become an eligible for applying. Okay. It is being stated that any research institute, any institute of national importance, any institute which is fall under 2F and 12B, okay, any faculty members of that institution, UGC recognized university, deemed university, which have fall under 2F, 12B, and deemed university covering under 12B are eligible to be admitted. So all the faculty members being in a part of autonomous college or affiliated college under a particular university where they have a 2F and 12B, or any deemed university who are fall within the preview of this 12B section, they can apply for it. Okay. Now, there are two part of it. I already mentioned you, if you can remember here. One is project coordinator, one is called project director. To become eligible as a part of project director, you must be a regular faculty, not an ad hoc faculty or a part-time associated with this institution. And you must definitely possess a PhD degree. Okay, with a good number of publications. Okay, then only the ICSR will review it and select and consider your name as a part of project director. Point arise that if I'm working in a civil servant, or if I'm working in a particular state service, public service, okay, and an A grade officer or B grade officer, can I be apt and join in this particular and apply for this ICSSR project? The answer is yes. Okay. So in a social sciences, we have not less than 20 years can apply. So you must have an experience of more than 20 years. So you can apply for a collaborative project along with a faculty from a social science discipline and associated with any of the HEI that I have specified earlier. So automatically, if you can working as a civil servant and you want to undertake a project, maybe a short-term empirical project or something like that, at that time you definitely you can collaborate, provided you must have an experience of more than 20 years and you can collaborate with any such faculty member in the particular HEI in the domain of social science. Okay, so that is an important criteria that you must make a note of it. Okay, I told you earlier the particular point that this is very important. I know that if all of you are associated with a LinkedIn, so definitely you can follow the LinkedIn profile of ICSSN, where time to time they are giving the advertisement in the LinkedIn where the new upcoming projects are available and posted. So automatically you can check it out and you can apply for it. Okay. Second most important thing, once a window will open after the given specific deadline, you can apply in through this window, okay, for online application. But definitely you have to apply for the application as soon as possible once you complete the online submission process. Okay. So hard copy is not received. The candidature application of that particular given candidate shall be considered to be a cancelled or withheld or withdrawn. Okay. You can draft your proposal maybe in the form of English or in the form of Hindi. But if you are a collaborative project, since you can collaborate with multiple project options, that is not being allowed. So one applicant can submit only one research proposal. If you are a project coordinator, definitely you can one. If you are a project director, you cannot work for a multiple project at a time. So definitely one project, one proposal can be submitted by the members associated with that project. Okay. So this is very important, and I already mentioned you that when you go for a collaborative project, please keep in mind and make a note of it. Who become a project coordinator? Because, like for example, in case of ICSSR, when they are called for a sudden meeting, at that time the project coordinator will be there in the meeting along with their all the project directors, so that the project coordinator, on behalf of all the respective team members, can brief and give the entire report about the progress of their project in the front of the expert member committee. That is very, very important. And why is project coordinator important? Because all the work, all the paperwork, and all the documentation, even the letters, the appointment of research scholar and some other things. Everything should be done in their official letterhead, so that when you're going for an audit, that is being done from their institution point of view, not from your institution point of view, but because you are representing or acting as a project director, but not as a project coordinator. So if you make a clear and an understanding between the members, because you know what happens sometimes there is a conflict. Like once you allocate that one of your friend as a project director, he can say that okay, so I have only role of managing and everything, all paperwork and everything, all documentation, all study, all the interpretation and work, statistical work I have to do. But the fund is not coming to me. Yes, the fund is not coming to you. The fund is coming to the PMS account only to the project coordinator and its associated HDI. Okay, that is very important. Now, what happened once we submit the project proposal, the project should be passed to a screening committee based on our eligibility. They will first scrutinize the eligibility of all the project directors and project coordinators, and then automatically they scrutinize the research proposal. Okay. Now, generally, I told you that the project will be carried forward for a duration of 6 months. For a short term, for long time extension will be permitted. So it depends on that. I already mentioned you that it may vary from 6 lakh to 30 lakh for a short term, major to minor to major, for individual to a collaborative project. So 6 lakh to 30 lakh. Okay. And what they will do in case of this collaborative project, if it is, the amount is huge, they release the amount in different installments. Okay. Not always that it is in a two installment they will pay you. It can be a two, three, or four. It may we got the amount in that particular process. Not only that, only two installment you will get the money. So that is a very important part of the research because funding is very important. Suppose at that time, after some progress, you have not received the funding, but still you have to carry forward, and then within a very short period of time, you will definitely receive the money from the ICSSL without further any kind of delay. Okay. Now, for the most important thing is that now you can ask me one question that a project is not without the help of equipment. So we need some amount to be allocated for a different purpose. ICSSI has very clearly articulate the way you can split the entire expenditure according to your estimated budget under the following heads. Okay, what they have done, they identified some of the expenditure, like how much amount of the total budget you will allocate. So you have to prepare a budget, and that budget must take in care of the following note. Suppose you have to appoint a research staff because without the appointment of a part-time research staff or full-time or some other service agency, it is practically impossible to collect the data set of more than 500 or more than 2000 to 5000 or something like that. The huge database collection becomes impossible or not practicable enough. Okay, so that is which is being stated by ICSL that 40% of the total budget, not more than that, can be allocated for the research staff. For field travel, for logistics, or for boarding and lodging, or survey preparation, you cannot exceed the entire budget more than 30%. Most important thing is that when you undertake you got the sanction letter from ICSSR, you have to organize a workshop. We have organized two workshops, one at the very beginning, initial stage of our journey, and one at the end of our work we have done. So for the workshop, you have to create a poster. For the workshop, you have to circulate among the other fellow academicians. Okay, so that they can came to know about the project. Okay, so automatically and finally, what you want to do. So you have to acquire some experts in the theme of the area of research we have undertaken. They will come and join your workshop. They will give their valuable input. So all those things should be drafted, incorporated, and send it to the ICSS from time to time. But the entire amount must be limited to up to 2 lakh for a collaborative research project. So we have allocated the fund accordingly. and we have organized one in a small form, that is in the very beginning, but because at that time we are at the initial level. Second time we have done in a big possible manner in a particular we have rented a particular conference room and then invited some of the senior most professor graded faculty members across the pan India. 3 and 4 members came in this context. We requested some of the faculty members to join with us. Some are the principal, some is the director of an institution, and the rest are the students. So we go for this kind of workshop to disseminate the information what we have done. All the data should be recorded properly, like in the form of a G tagging pictures or something, and proper documentation must be kept. And for any kind of audit, any kind of recording or recording purpose or proven purpose. Now, for this, maybe there's a requirement for purchasing some computer, printer, books, journals. So automatically that thing you have to purchase depends on the nature of your work. If desired, ICSSR will request you to give back those equipments. Otherwise, the particular things can be kept by the respective uh, authority, the HEI of the project coordinator. So that is for the anything that is given to the project director, they can keep. If it is being required to be refunded to the ICSSR, they will refund it accordingly. Okay, so this is the sum. So that is mainly 10% of the total budget is being allocated. Okay, now for other contingency purpose, for some unpredictable situation purpose, 5% of the total budget will be kept. Okay, but the last one is very interesting. The affiliating institution, where then that means the institution that is being represented by the project coordinator representing the institution, that institution is called an affiliating institution. This affiliating institution, they have to bear certain amount of overhead cost for undertaking this project, and that is 7.5% of the total approved budget. So these are the certain clear demarcation that was given by ICSSR when you are preparing for a budget. That is very, very important. Now, they have also mentioned some of the very interesting point that if you are going for a large project, definitely you have to appoint some research associate or research assistant or field investigator. Three nomenclature they have given. For three nomenclature, the amount of part or amount of benefit or the remuneration is different. For a research associate, you have to pay 40,000 per month, 32,000 per month for research assistant, for field investigator 30,000. Okay, not exceeding for 3 months. All the detailed qualification has been shown on the right hand side. Okay, but most important part is that you cannot select those people based on your own choice criteria. You have to give an ad in any daily newspaper, and based on that, you have to invite. You can give the ad both in the online and offline. Online from your institutional website and offline via our daily newspaper channel, newspaper. So once you give an ad, people start applying for the project. Then you have to go for screening of those particular curriculum vitae that you received. And then after the screening process over, you can select the right man. But at that time, you have to appoint some specific resource person as the persons who can take the interview of those candidates and take the final decision whom they will finally select. Okay. Now, that is very important that if you ask me one question, that sir, we have for the purpose of our some books and equipment. So this books and equipment definitely after the end of the particular project becomes the property of the affiliating institution where project coordinator is being associated. Okay, but sometimes what happens if it is not being requested by ICC, please return those books to ICC. The institution can keep those particular books for the purpose of their future use. Okay. Now, no publication. Now, this is very important. Okay. Now, out of the work for a short-term empirical research work or something like that, for the special type of work that you are undertaken, they are not allow you to present the particular progress in any sort of form to any other institution or any other college or university for the purpose of using the term called paper presentation. Neither they have allowed you to go for publication. So this is very important. No one, no member, it may be the project director, or it may be the principal person that is called project coordinator. No one are allowed to do so without any kind of written permission received from ICSSL. This is very, very important. Okay, so you don't have to do any sort of publication and presentation, particularly for a special project issued by ICSSL or for a short-term empirical research project funded by ICSSL. Okay, now for a we try to focus on right now the minor and major research project. Okay, the projects are being subdivided into two parts, minor and major. Generally, the minor project lasts for an year and a major project lasts for 2 years, where the maximum ceiling for the fund that can be allocated by ICSSL depends on the quality of research work undertaken by the principal investigator. It may be 10 lakh or it may be 25 lakhs. So that is very important. Where you are applying, what is your objective, which particular theme you are working. Okay, so automatically based on your theme, you can fix or opt for minor project and major project. Okay, but the amount is not so bad. So if you are interested where the complexity is a little bit less, all of you can apply for a minor research project. Very short, impactful minor research project. We can, as a faculty members, can do because we have parallels having some other administrative and academic work is there. Okay, so that is why I can request all of you, at least if not a long, short empirical research you are undertaking, you can undertake a small minor project as well. Okay, now for the minor project also, it is being stated that what is the appointment criteria for the minor project, minor or major project for the research associate, assistant, and field investigator. I think if you can compare it with the last one, automatically the amount is a little bit higher here. Now check the amount is earlier is 40,000, now it is 47,000. Research assistant 30,000, 37,000, and for the field investigator it is 30,000. As their criteria is also being given, generate a master's with a net, master's with a set, or a PhD, or maybe having a little bit experience of developing a research paper. Automatically, it will have a much useful for us. Okay. Now, the most important thing that when you go uh, for committee selection of the committee, who will become a member of the selection committee to appoint those staff. At the time, it is being stated that project director must be there, who can act as a coordinator, and one outside person. Okay, other than the institute where the project is being located, anyone you can take from outside your own institution. And third, a person nominee. Okay, he may be the project director or head of the institution, or maybe it can automatically the work is being determined and controlled. Okay, so in that way, the entire thing. Now, what is the fundamental difference? If you can ask me, the time duration is a major factor, 1 year and 2 year. Amount of grant receipt depends on your project is 12, 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs. Okay, the most important thing is that, okay, in both the cases, the research proposal and the final report of both minor and major that you have to be prepared both either in Hindi or in English, in which particular language you are comfortable with. Now, the most important thing is that the second point. In case of second point, what is being stated, an applicant of a minor project, okay, then they have to give the research proposal in a through online with a proper format. Okay, and hard copy must be submitted within 10 days. Here, in case of major project also, the applicant must incorporate project details, research project details, along with the within 10 days from the date of submission online. Okay. So online submission followed by the offline submission, and then the drafting, maybe in Hindi and English, which follow the same type of sequencing, just like that we have followed in our earlier days. It starts with introduction, then the literature review, relevance of the study, and all those things must be incorporated. One another major difference is that when we will get the first installment in minor project, it is being stated out of the total project value, very important. 40% of the total must be given, but provided to be after receiving book length, final report, executive summary, and all those things. That means here you have to give all the summary, the book proposal, what is the book is all about. Okay, the length of the book, everything should be given. And within that thing you have to develop within 500 words, along with the abstract and report and all the published documents. And what most important thing is that in case of minor journal or in not scopus or in a APTC JX, at just one published paper published either in the peer reviewed first here you are getting a second installment, which is 20% of the total budget that you have received. So automatically the, what you have